ஹலோ அஸ்ஸலாமு அலைக்கும். கபீர், நான் கொஞ்ச நேரம் கால் பண்ணேன் உனக்கு. ஓகே இன்ஷா அல்லாஹ். ஓகே ஓகே இன்ஷா அல்லாஹ். அஸ்ஸலாமு அலைக்கும். ஸலாம். Assalamu alaikum. Is it audible? Yes. Come on. Yes. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Faiz.
Ya, salam.
Perfect. We still have 4 more minutes to go. Is Dr. Hidayah Khalid is there? I can see Dr. Faiz, Madam Tatina, Dr. Zinat, the other presenter. Madam Hidayah Khalid, are you there? May I know your ID so that I can unmute you? Three.
Assalamualaikum everybody.
Walaikum salam tullah. Doctor. Welcome, Doctor.
Okay, Dr. Zinat.
Yeah.
How's everybody?
Most welcome, alhamdulillah. We're waiting for one more presenter to join us, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay.
I think because I don't know the ID number, that's why still searching.
Okay.
Okay. Madam Hidayah Ali, could you please?
Ayah. The ID for Hidayah is Ayah. Wait.
Ayah, okay.
Yeah.
How to spell it? Yeah, okay, fine. Got it. I asked unmute. Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Faiz.
Okay. Assalamualaikum everyone.
Welcome, inshallah. We still have to wait for another few more minutes for others to join us, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thanks for coming.
Okay, let me post this one. We have the YouTube live streaming.
Wow.
Where is the link? Some team. Yes. Okay, link. Paste it here. This is our YouTube streaming. This works well. Dr. Fuad?
Yeah,
Yes, perfect. Inshallah.
I'm here.
Would you like to say some words? Or
Basically, I'm still on the way to Sam, so just please proceed. I got extra long meeting just now, so
I understand. Fine. Since all the presenters are there, another few more minutes, another 2-3 minutes, we'll wait for the other participants to join. And we will start our session shortly. Live streaming.
Everyone is here already, right? Dr. Akbar.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Dr. Faiz, Dr. Hidayah, and Madam Tatina, and also Dr. Zina Bigam. Welcome to our webinar. Thank you for agree to joining us to be the speaker.
Welcome. Cik.
Thank you also.
Mana Kak Tatina ni?
Thank you. Welcome. I pemalu you.
Welcome.
Oh, ya ke? Dua kali masuk paper, malu ke?
So we have a very popular person lah today hari ni.
Yeah, celebrities here. We have celebrities.
Celebrity.
And thank
right.
you, Dr. Zinat, for joining us.
Okay, welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
It's okay. We are always open to for others to join us.
Okay.
Made a small correction. So anyone who wants to unmute can unmute by themselves actually. So the option is changed. Always 5 minutes standard error. That's Faiz.
Apa?
Always 5 minutes standard error.
It's okay. It's
We'll wait for the
okay.
participants to join, inshallah. Few more, another one more minute, inshallah. Exactly 2:35 we will start.
Okay.
Perfect. I think it is better to start, inshallah.
Okay. Let me share the.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Anbiya wal Mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Welcome to yet another workshop on by some as well as the Marine School webinar series. We welcome every one of the participants, as well as we also thank all the presenters for accepting our invitation and are willing to share your interesting findings with us, inshallah. We have 4 presenters today. I have a few things to say before we start. We have 4 presenters today. The first presenter will be Madam Hidayah Khalid, and she is the manager of the Perhentian Marine Research Station. She is going to present on citizen scientists as frontliners for the coral ecosystem conservation in Perhentian Island. And the second presenter would be Madam Raja Tatina Raja Musa, and she is the coral conservation activist as well as the co-founder of the diving Balok. She is going to present her research finding as well. And the third presenter would be Dr. Zeenat Begum from Kulia of Architecture and Environmental Design from IIUM, and she is going to present her research finding as well. Followed by the fourth presenter, Dr. Muhammad Faiz from our Kulia of Science, inshallah. And he is going to present as he requested. He's going to present as a last presenter, and his presentation would be role of academicians in sustainable research framework for marine conservation. So we have eminent presenters today, and each presenter will be presenting about 15 minutes, followed by a Q&A for each presenter for 5 minutes time. And we will stick on to the time because we value the time of the participants as well as the presenter. So without further ado, I would like to invite the first presenter, Madam Hidayah Khalid, to take the floor, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum. So my name is Hidayah. So let me share the screen. So how it goes. Okay. Does everyone can see my screen?
It is still.
Is it sharing?
We will wait for it, inshallah. Yeah, now it's perfectly visible. You can maximize it.
Is it okay with everyone, or how?
Yeah, it is visible, doctor. Maybe you can full screen it.
Screen it. Already have to. Let me.
Perfect, doctor. May proceed.
Yeah. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noida. I'm from Perhentian Marine Station. So today, I hope that everyone have been to Perhentian before. And from the screens that we can see, so this is our daily view lah.
Oh, sorry, doctor. Your screen. Could you please again share the screen? Madam Hidayah Khalid. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
How is it my screen? Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor, maybe you can increase your volume because it's not that audible.
Okay, so how about now?
Perfect.
Is it okay? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start again. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon for everyone. My name is Nohidayah binti Khalid. I'm from Perhentian Marine Research Station. So I'm based in Perhentian Islands, Terengganu, Malaysia. Topic will be citizen science as a frontliner for corals ecosystem conservation. Hoping I will try my best to deliver the given topics. So let's start with so my next slide. So this is a little bit information about the organization here. Perhentian Marine Research Station itself are operating under Fuse Ecoteam. Fuse Ecoteam is a social enterprise, which means we are a private company, not an NGO, that running conservations on Perhentians. We got 3 projects on the island. The first one is Perhentian Eco Education, known as PEEP. Perhentian Turtles Project, known as PTP, and then Perhentian Marine Research Station itself, known as PMRS. So going back to the topics today, as we are looking into the citizen science, so like this is definitions on the citizen science, where it is about the public participations and collaborations among scientific community and also citizens, like the normal peoples, to increase scientific findings and also scientific knowledge. So who can be the scientist? Is everyone? Is it me? It can be everyone around us, including the students, including the kids around the islands, around the world can be the scientists. Like the citizen science only need 3 elements, which is the citizen itself, the one who contributes the data collections, to the monitoring. The second is the designs, where the research design are able to meet the citizens' levels and able to meet the scientific requirements, the findings. And lastly is the science, where the knowledge of the scientific findings are able to reach to the citizens, able to reach to the understanding of the citizens and the normal people. So combining with these 3 elements, it's create the citizen science approach for normal peoples, that normal citizens, to contribute toward the scientific knowledge. Knowing this kind of approach, this citizen science approach can help into bringing other peoples to take part in conservations, to involve more peoples. So Perhentian Marine Research Stations are designing its programs, its activities to include our volunteers, to include local communities around here, and also to include local stakeholders on the island. Because the aims of the station itself, we are aiming to create sustainable Perhentian Islands with partnership with the Sisters Project, which is education projects, and also the project, also together with the local stakeholder. We have to work together to achieve that aims. So the 3-part 3 operational elements for the station. The first one is conservation, dive, and education. The second one is community empowerment, targeting local community and also Malaysian itself lah, for everyone around us. And then the third one is recycling and waste management. So these 3, all these activities, all this program has been designed to engage more people, to bring more people toward the conservation. So we're gonna look further into these elements, where how the stations bring more people to take part in conservations. So the first element is a conservation and dive education, where the station itself, we receiving volunteers throughout the season, since March until September. So the volunteers that are signing up to join the station, we offer them the courses and trainings, where the new divers, the new volunteers that want to be certified, we're working together with several dive shops around here to allow them to be certified as an open water diver, or if there's a volunteers with certification, so there's an opportunity for them to advance their level. And soon they complete their course, they will join us doing a dive, like conservation dive, focusing more on coral reef ecology. They're gonna learn about the coral ecosystem. They're gonna know about fish ID, fish species around perhentians that available here, and then they're also gonna learn a little bit about marine benthic, nudibranch, and so on, to promote more ecological mindset where when they dive next, they knows what they are looking at, they knows what they should and shouldn't do when they are diving. After that, a second is the coral monitorings and coral restorations, where with volunteers programs for the stations, we are able, so the station are able to visit dive sites around the island. So the volunteers are subscribed to dive with us, dive using their dives. So the stations are visiting dive sites around the islands, and then we are able to conduct monitoring survey, such as live coral cover survey, also dive site survey. This is where the dive site survey is the one that we are following using Marine Park methodology. So this has been developed by Marine Park. So we work closely together with the Marine Park of Perhentian Island. So when we have volunteers, we went out diving with them. So we also conduct the monitoring survey, and then the result for the survey, we are sending back to the Marine Park so that they can further take any actions if needed. If there are any changes, like dramatic changes, damage on the dive site, they will further do their taking the actions to restore, to either help out with the dive sites, how to regulate the dive site. Other than that, for the artificial and restoration, for the coral restoration, so the stations able to deploy 63 bottle reef last year in 2019, and by having volunteers with the stations, we are able to maintain, and then this also helps to replant the coral at degraded natural reef. So basically, our volunteers is our manpower, so we are inviting them to help us contributing toward the conservation here. Lastly, for conservation dive is the station itself, PMRS itself. We have our target area, target research that we are looking at, such habitat mapping. So when we went out for the diving, we do map our dive site using reef check methodology so that we can compare to them. So at least we have more standardized. So our volunteers also helping us. The staff also been trained to do the survey. And then other than that, we also introduce the scientific dive skill for our volunteers, for them to experience how it looks like when they are doing fun dive and when they are doing the scientific dive, especially for their buoyancy, their understandings of the ecosystem. Soon after that, when they are ready to us with the survey, they will part with the surveys and so another elements that have citizen science approach in there is community empowerments, where these programs are the elements designed to increase more ecological minded, to increase more resources that really aware about marine ecosystem. The first one we have here is a marine scholar program, where this is a conservation scholarship that we offering to the Malaysians to partake conservation training with us on the island for 6 months. So the scholars will stay with us, and on the graduation, the completions of the training, they are able to advance their license. So basically, that is the scholarship, fully funded programs, and also including the diving licenses. Either they can up to second levels, if it's advanced, and then they can level up to rescue divers. So that is scholarship that we're offering to them. It's open to all Malaysian youth. So we run for the second year this year. So next year, hopefully, inshallah, we're going to get another scholar for 2021. So the second program for community empowerment is the junior diver program. So this is the heart of our community program, community empowerment, where this program, junior diver program, 100% focusing on island regions where we are looking to sponsor them their junior open water license, where this they're gonna commit with the stations to keep learning about marine conservation, learning about their ecosystem and then their homeland here. And then this gonna, hopefully we are hoping this gonna motivate them and then inspire them to really take care of the islands in the future. So last but not least, community power is institutions where we are looking at the guests, the divers, staffs around the islands to contribute toward data collections. For example, we have here is turtle ID, special scale ID. So our turtle project here have a database on the island. So for tourists and the divers or even snorkelers that encounter the turtles, so they can take pictures on the live on the right side and send it to us so that we can identify individuals and then they can contribute to more data project. If there is new turtle, I mean, if the turtles that they took the pictures is new turtles, they have opportunity to name the turtle itself. So we have around 200 something, 200 up to 300 individual turtles database. So yeah, and this help us to monitor the turtle distributions around the islands. Other than that, the project itself, the station itself, we always we will do weekly beach cleanup, either at the nesting beach or at our stakeholder beach. So if a stakeholder organizing the beach cleanup, we are happy to go. We will go and then assist in terms of collecting the data, and we will submit those data to Ocean Conservancy, which means the stations, the citizens and organization, which is Ocean Conservancy. Other than that, is the dive agrees. So we also part of the project aware that organizing underwater cleanup every week with our volunteers. This is we submit our data so that it can be monitored by the marine debris around perhentian. We are keen to support the local community through education. So as we are investing in young generations of the islands, we work closely with Sekolah Kebangsaan Pulau Perhentian, which is the only primary school that we have on the islands. So, because after the primary school, the island children's gonna further their secondary school in boarding school, which is in the mainland. So that's why our target group for local empowerment is primary schools on the island, which is Sekolah Kebangsaan Pulau Perhentian. We really want the children of the islands become more interested in science, more interested in their own ecosystem, because they gonna stay here for a long time, longer than me, longer than other staff of the project. So hopefully in long-term run, they will be the one who lead the conservations. They will be the one who sustain the ecosystem of the island. So as the PMRS itself is focusing on the diving program, which means is high levels of activities, to engage with the kids around the islands, to engage with the children of the islands. We work together with our sister project, which is Perhentian Eco Education. Because Perhentian Eco Education is the main project that really focus on education and awareness of the local communities around. So they do have an eco club program, which includes several activities. which is kayak patrols, coral watch, and then precious plastic machines. So kayak patrol, the activities includes kayaking around village area, like the beach. So you're gonna kayak around and then collect the plastic. So this is where gonna collect the plastics, and then they're gonna record the data, and then they will see at the end of the season how much data they've been collected, how much plastic that have been collected, and then having these young generations taking part in these activities is also allow the older generation just to see how it goes, because their kids or the children's gonna ask and then tell the moms and the parents about what they did today. So which means it's also one of the tools for us to reach out to the older generations. Another activity is a watch, where for the eco club, the so members gonna go diving. So the eco club member gonna free dive at our reef area, and then they're gonna monitor the changes of the reef. And last is precious plastic machines. These machines that we have on the islands to as education tool for the kids and also for the stakeholders all around perhentians who want to come and then see the plastic waste around the island. So from cleanup, from plastic straws collection around into other things. And for example, we do have here is a turtle necklaces pendant. So this is educational tools lah, like awareness tool to speak out about reducing plastic waste on island. So these activities compulsory for eco clubs member, where at the end of the season, the most active member, outstanding member will receive a scholarship to continue their involvement with the project with MRS. They're gonna receive the junior open water diver, and then they're gonna pursue this too. So from here onward, MRS take over kids, the children that have been certified, and then we're gonna further deepen their involvement in marine conservation. Hoping every year we're gonna receive more and more junior diver, and then we can create at least one big group, one team divers from the village itself, our island. So junior diver is a program for us. So it's been is the first batch has been successfully certified was in September 2019. So for now we only have one batch, and then 4 of them has been excuse me, 4 of them has been certified in September 2019. So once they agreed to be certified and then to join junior diver, they are expected to commit with PMRS to drive throughout the season. Unfortunately, 2020 is a weird year for everyone, even for us. We are having a hard time surviving this year, so we have to put the program on hold for a while, but we are ready to continue the programs starting next year. So next year, these junior diver are gonna come to us. They're gonna start diving with us. Gonna start learning more about marine ecosystem beyond the kayak survey, beyond coral watch, diving. So this is a panorama for 2019, and then by having this batch fully certified last year, we received other dive shops that are willing to join this program. So we're hoping they can sponsor more lah, be our sponsor for this program. So we can sustain year by year so that we can keep collecting and then have of the divers from the island itself, especially for the island. So this sort of has been trained by Panorama Divers instructor, learned Antan. So there this dialect. It's really amazing. So it was an amazing experience for me to assist them, like facilitate them with the dive shop and them the class, went to the theory, and especially when they went out for the first dive. So it's really feeling experience for me. Hoping that soon they can be the partner of the conservation in perhentian, and slowly they will contribute to high levels of coral monitoring and then ecosystem monitoring on the islands. Yeah. And this is a little bit about the coral watch activity. So that the diver gonna further after the dive stations, they gonna go diving and then gonna get their own corals to monitor. They gonna monitor the changes from the darkest to the lightest. So they will see, they already been trained before club activities. But when they are certified as a junior diver, they will be more involved in scuba diving. We are hoping to keep inspiring.
Hello. I think there is some signal interruption because doctor is from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. If everyone agree, then should we proceed with the second presenter, because there's some technical issues with Madam Hidayah, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Faiz, what do you say? Is it fine? Yes, since there is a text, and we will ask that Madam Hidayah to give a presentation soon after she joined, inshallah. Maybe as the last presenter, whatever she missed it, she will present it at the last. So without further ado, since the time is up, we will go with the second presenter. Second presenter, Madam Tatina Raja Muda Musa. Okay, yes. Yes. Could you, Doctor, you can unmute your microphone?
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
audible, Doctor.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
You can maximize it and please proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I still have. Okay. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, thank you for inviting me to share not research finding, but today I'm going to share with you some storytelling of the accumulation of coral conservation involvement and experience that I've been involved with for the past few decades, and some tips on how effective stakeholder engagement has been done from my previous experience. So thank you again. I'm so honored to be here to share with all the esteemed researchers, doctors, and practitioners of coral conservation. I will start by introducing myself first. This presentation pack will go through about me, about Diving Balok, where I'm the co-founder and explorer for Diving Balok. I will talk about a bit on managing community, what are the challenges, and what's next for Diving Balok's strategy and direction. Okay, a little bit about me. People call me Kak Tati or Puan Tatina. I'm a regular mom, wife, daughter. I cook. I'm a seasonal gardener when it is monsoon season, and I also work. I grew up with 3 primary schools and 3 secondary schools, being my dad is in the Navy and my mom is an English teacher. So we moved quite a lot, hence I go through 6 schools. I completed my degree in mass communications, majoring in public relations, hence my knowledge in stakeholder engagement and communications. Over the span of career, I was heavily involved in communications and external affairs, and later on, after 15 years, venture into being an environmental specialist. From there, with the thirst of knowledge, I was certified and further studies to be a certified assessor in environmental management system, HACMS, which is Health, Safety, Environment Management System. ABMS stands for Anti-Bribery Management System, as well as recently certified as a lead auditor for social accountability. So social accountability looks into the practices of human rights in business. Currently, I'm working in Petronas. I'm a principal in social performance. My office is at KLCC, Tower 1. However, thanks to COVID, I am working from home, from my Kuantan home. And my friends tell that my behavior is 70% spend more time in the ocean and 30% spend my time with my Tarzan. All right. Mentioned earlier, I'm a founder and explorer of Diving Balok. So this is a virtual dive center where we specialize in mark and macro diving, promoting marine conservation and sustainable fishing in the community. Right. Okay, a little bit of our experience in stakeholder engagement and community. I started off organizing reef clean programs with the experience of 15 log dive, 15. So after this 15 log dive, my boss told me that I'm in the wrong career. This is some pictures that we took in Tenggol in 2005, where we surfaced a lot of debris. Most of it are non-biodegradable. So this is my inaugural entrance on coral conservation in Pulau Tenggol in 2005. And every year since then, I have been leading and organizing marine conservation effort in Redang, in Tioman, and heavily participated in a lot of marine park initiatives in coral conservation. At that point of time, we had a lot of issues on crown of thorns because there's a lot of crown of thorns in the area of Tioman, especially. Okay, we further participated in coral conservation led by others as well as organized by myself and the company. And this is a picture that we introduced alternative artificial reefs in Pulau Bidong. And we never stopped since then. So 5-6 years down the road, my kids grew up. So when my kids grew up, the eldest one need to go for a big exam, which is the UPSR, and my MCO started since 2009. That's where I started the movement control order. I can't go out to the islands. We used to go out every 2 to 3 weeks every month, but with the commitment of sending my son to school for tuition and committed to his education, we can't go out much. So there we are, spending our time at the sea and visiting fishing villages along Kuantan. And we ended up at the Jetty Nelayan Balok. Okay, so we started off following the fishermen to sea. We were curious enough to find out what are possible reefs, coral, artificial reefs out there. Are they rocks? Are they wrecks? And we found out that the beauty and the diversity is similar to the islands. So we started to explore since 2009. And the curiosity came about where I wanted to know what is the impact of the industrial effluent discharges to Sungai Balok, which eventually flows to the sea. So we started to monitor artificial reefs off coast Balok waters from the areas of Pelindung up until Sungai Ular area. And our activity was also acknowledged as a diving association under the Persatuan Nelayan Balok. So that's where we started off investing in coral conservation and promoting sustainable fishing in Balok Kuantan. This is the collection of some of our art of mark and macro photography. So the intention was originally going for macro photography and mark diving. Okay, so initially, diving Balok, we engaged with the community, from the fishermen, from the head of village, from the friends that we have been talking and doing engagement. We found that there are about 60 dive sites covering natural reef, artificial reefs, wrecks, fish aggregation device, which is commonly known as unjang here, and it is mostly sandy bottom. So what we did in the beginning of diving Balok, we have been exploring for 2 years to identify which are the sites suitable, because our friends want to follow us to dive because they have been witnessing the alternative sites from the islands. So we have been introducing with limited number of space on our boat, because our boat is pretty small during that day. And we start to mark and establish baseline data of where are the corals distribution, as well as where are the prominent place for regular coral conservation reef clean. Okay, so the reality over the years is Balok is very much open to fishermen's activities, and they are not protected like the Taman Laut, like the marine park. So they are open and exposed to a lot of ghost nets, a lot of debris, mostly fishing nets related. And the point where we were diving in this particular artificial reef, where it was about 4 stories high, but due to the trawlers, it really fell to the ground. So this was one of the Balok Reef Clean, that the initial first Balok Reef Clean that we organized, and we practically, the volunteers really cried in our mask. So we were determined to do something about it. So these are some pictures that we've taken over the years to show people, to talk to the community of what happens and what are the impacts if we don't really ensure that our corals are protected and respected. Okay, so we started to hold and organize a lot of reef clean programs. Some are small scale, some are big scale. And in 2012, due to we need to expose ourselves so the whole wide world in Malaysia know what we're doing. This is a recognition by the Malaysian International Dive Expo in 2012 or 2013, I can't remember. This picture was meant to be the first prize. However, a technicality of the photography says that the picture lacks color, so we got second prize, which is okay. The whole idea and message is for people to understand about coral conservation and how fishermen and human activities impact the corals. Okay, so as you can see here, we move on in conducting more and more coral conservation effort, and we also engage partners. The picture on the bottom, where the second picture on the bottom right is another recognition in the media photography session, where one of our buddy got second place also in the photography contest. So this is an eye-opener about coral conservation in a way from our style of Davin Balok way of promoting coral conservation. All right. So we also invited in the earlier days UIA, IIUM, the INOSAM team. So they also supported us along the way. And recently, on the 13th and the 16th of public holiday, we recently organized coral conservation program with LKIM at Kampung Nenasi as well as Balok. So we have been receiving more invitation for us to organize coral conservation in other parts of the fishing village community throughout the coast of Pahang. We also have been invited to also lead some reef clean programs in Terengganu, but it's too far for us to go there. So we hope that our buddies in all these locations will help us to promote sustainable fishing and to promote coral conservation along the way while they dive at all these beautiful dive spots. So along the years that we have been involved in Davin Balok, we promote coral conservation and sustainable fishing. And among our partners were the Persatuan Nelayan Balok, the local association of fishermen. The International Islamic University of Malaysia is a good supporter for Davin Balok. We also have involved and worked with Agency Penguatkuasa Maritime Malaysia, APMM Maritime. We also engage the industrial in Gebring, where they have a Balok River Adoption Program spearheaded by 8 companies. This is a collaboration of 8 companies, which previously they were doing individual CSR in Balok, but now with the collaboration of Balok River Adoption Program, they are having this partnership to have a more collaborative and meaningful CSR in Balok for the community around there. We also have participated and promoted Balok as a diving site under the Tourism Malaysia Pahang. Coral Malaysia is also one of our partners with the Pahang state government, and not to mention all our fellow volunteer divers. And recently added to our partners is the Kuantan Association of Fishermen, as well as Nenasi Association of Fishermen, as well as the Lembaga Kemajuan Ikan Malaysia. So these are the pictures over the years that we have been building mutual trust with our partners. And since this is a IIUM program, I am promoting the partnership builds mutual trust. This is a whole decade of friendship with IIUM. We started off with the pictures on the far right, where we got some memos for your studies, and with this you have also breed baby Nemos. And I just got a call 2 days ago, I think, from the Ceruk Paloh Center that they plan to release back the baby Nemos back to the original kampung. All right. So the pictures on the left are some activities that you did for your research. So we were the one who introduced you that you can have options either to organize your research at the island as well as at the coastal of Kuantan and Balok area. So along the way, nurture trust is very important in stakeholder engagement. Respect will eventually be translated to mutual trust, no matter whether they are humans or non-humans. So this big tusk fish was just sleeping while using the coral as the pillow. He didn't even budge, and he didn't even mind us taking picture of him. So that's where I would like to share the message of nurture trust, and the respect is translated into trust, no matter what being you are. Okay, so this is some of the sustainable fishing efforts that we have introduced. All this while, the fisherman has been using a smaller trap where sometimes they can't go out to sea and fetch their catch. So we introduce a bigger size fish trap so the food can go in and out, and this is a lower risk of the fish being dead earlier. So by having a bigger fish trap, the smaller fish go out and the bigger fish has continuous food throughout the trapping period. Okay, so a little bit about managing community. I would like to share with you on the importance of managing community. There are a few steps of how we manage community. First and foremost, we need to identify our stakeholders. And all the stakeholders has many stakeholders that link to them. So we need to understand and create that baseline and data so we can really understand our stakeholders, what are the challenges and what are their goals in life. Secondly, stakeholder analysis is very important. If you do not have data, obviously you can't analyze. So having a stakeholder analysis, you would be able to know and relate what audience is suitable for what activities and what means of communications. The third item is the stakeholder communications. So this is one of my contribution, one of Diving Balut contribution of communicating to the education industry, where we talk about coral conservation in a stakeholder engagement angle. So UIA, IIUM is one of our stakeholder, and this is how we communicate with you through this type of webinar, joint collaboration in reef program, and so on. But the rest of the other stakeholders, we give them stories. For example, we give stories to the media talks about our effort. For the authorities, we offer them collaboration of working together diving because they have limited resources when it comes to diving. Last but not least is the stakeholder engagement. Without the identification, analysis, and communication, it's quite impossible for you to do engagement. So you need to have the meat, you need to have the strategy, the planning, as well as the execution of communicating. So it's a whole package of managing a community. Over the years, there are challenges, and we have capped these challenges to 3. Number 1 being the resistance of change. Some community, some targeted audience, they refuse to change. But it is not impossible to penetrate into their thinking. So what we have experienced so far is we need to talk their language. We need to talk at their level, and we need to understand their story. And also we need to find the right frequency so there is understanding between us as well as the targeted stakeholder. And with talking their language, understanding their story, and find the right frequency, we can promote ownership. So, but how do we promote ownership is we need to achieve that common objective and goals. It is agreeable that all of us have different objectives and goals in coral conservation, but we must have that point of agreement to achieve common objectives and goals to meet the strategy and meet your objective. So once in agreement, we encourage participation and commitment from community and relevant stakeholder. So if they buy in your idea, they will believe it and they will help you. The second challenge that we face is obviously politics. Politics is everywhere, and it is important that we know and find out who's who in the community, because there is no one approach that fits all. And with this, we would like to encourage people to promote focused execution, make your communication and intention and objective clear, offer win-win solution, as well as plan, commit, and deliver with discipline. Thirdly is the resource. In order for us to have an overview of resource, a good resource, we need to seek partnership and get help. With this, we can promote respect and trust. Next is my last slide. What's next for Diving Balo is we're committed to continue to develop leaders, partners through sustainable marine engagement, optimizing the resource, capability, and capability available. And the second item here is we're committed to continue to share best practices on marine conservation and sustainable fishing within the community. With that, I thank you.
Thank you, Madam Tatina. I open a floor for the question. Only one question is allowed if possible because of the time limitation. If anyone have a question, you can unmute your microphone and ask. If there is no question, we'll move on to the third presenter. Fine. Okay, I think it is better to move on to the third presenter right now. And if you have question, you can still ask. You can post the question in the text, or even later after all the presentation is over, you can ask the question. The third presenter will be Dr. Zinat Begum from Kulia of Architecture and Environmental Design, and she's going to present on negative impact of chalet operations on Peninsula Malaysia Marine Park Islands. Please, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dr. Zinat. So I'm going to share my screen. Can everybody hear my voice clearly?
Yeah, it's very audible, Doctor. Perfect.
All right. Okay, is the screen clear?
Everything is visible, Doctor. Perfect. You can proceed.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dr. Zinat Begum binti Yusof. So I'm from Kulia of Architecture Environmental Design, IIUM Gombak. So today I'm going to present my research on the negative impacts of chalets operation on the East Coast Peninsula Malaysia Marine Park Island. So just now is more on the community conservation. This is purely research and very dry. Please bear with me, a lot of text. Okay, if you can see all these four pictures, these are normal views that we can see in magazine, in journals, in everywhere, Instagram. But this view is basically very beautiful view. But also we can see this view also. These are the partial view that we always did not see in reality. These are the reality at our Marine Park Island. Okay, for example, diesel oil pollution, accumulation of garbage, sewage water pollution, and stream water pollution. So the picture just now is all the pictures taken during my research at the island. So as we know that tourism is the world's fastest and largest growing industry. So the massive growth because of tourism industry are causing the environmental degradation. So the adverse impact of tourism are more on the island compared to the urban area. So the impacts are on the two aspects. One is on tourism recreational activities. Another one is unsustainable operation of tourist accommodation. So these operations are causing various negative impacts on the coral reef. The pictures below are showing, the first pictures is showing accumulation of solid waste at Perhentian Island, coral breakages at Redang Island, accumulations of solid waste also at Perhentian Island, and entanglement of a turtle at Tioman Island. Also, with a lot of studies conducted during this research, we found out that many studies are conducted on the marine tourism recreational activities, but the studies are limited on the operation area, how that the chalets operation are causing the negative impacts on the marine environment. So that's why this study was conducted. The picture here showing a very proud tourist showing me that he unplugged the corals at the Tioman Island, And all these eateries for tourism industry are discharging all this grey water into the river near the sea, and tourists also stepping on the coral reef. So the research aim was to provide appropriate recommendations regarding the issues, regarding the operation, which will help to reduce the degradations of Peninsula Malaysia Marine Park ecological asset. So the recommendation will be the appropriate green operation practices for chalet operators. So the study was conducted only focusing on the micro and small type of chalets located at East Peninsula Malaysia, because a lot of chalets are located there, and the chalets which are located near to the beaches are studied. And I choose 4 islands: Kapas, Perhentian, Redang, and Tioman Island as a case study. And all the chalets that are researched are focusing on the operation stage. As for the literature review, a lot of literature have been done in Malaysia and also worldwide. So I found out that generally all islands in the world having the similar problems like sedimentation, turbidity, bleaching, coral bleaching, accumulation of solid waste, strangulations of marine animals, noise pollution, water pollution, salinization of water. But by finding all this information, we want to identify, does these problems occur in Malaysia Marine Park Island or not. So from that, we do a research, we have a methodology to conduct the research, we do the literature review, and we proceed to the method selection of the sampling procedures. Then we do the pilot study at Perhentian Island. After that, we do a major field work by case studies, okay, interview, in-depth interview, and also giving a questionnaire to all the operators regarding their operation, and also the structured observation. Then after that, we analyze the data and got the findings for the research question. Then we do a reporting. Okay, as now just now that I mentioned, we have 4 island was identified. Each island have 3 chalets was researched, and all 93 questionnaire was submitted. So from the analysis and findings, what we found out that there are 5 pertinent operation practices of chalets at Marine Park Island that are causing negative impacts. One of it is external works, okay? External works. Second is energy management. Third is water management. Fourth is sewage management. The fifth is solid management. Whereas recreational activities, transportation, and entertainment activities causing is more on tourist or recreational activities. It's not on the operation side, on the building side, because my background is architecture background. So we have to look how the buildings, the operations of the building are causing the negative impacts. Then, so we look in the detail on the operation. For example, on the external works, usually what the operators do is they do the continuous dredging for their speedboats. Okay, because not all the islands have facilities of ferries or jetty. So what they do is they have their own personal boats. So they will do the dredging of the channel to allow their boats to the beach. Another thing is they're having all the islands, the 4 islands having beach erosion. So to overcome the beach erosion, every monsoon they will construct a hard structure, revetments or gabion wall. This thing leads to more erosion, soil erosion. So what happens is when there's the erosion, sedimentation and turbidities occurs, causes all the corals under stress near the beaches, will cause injuries to the corals, bleaching, and the corals become unhealthy. And this also further reduce the fish and other marine organism population. So what the solution is? The solution for this one was the first one for dredging. We actually, there's a lot of solution, but I only put the only pertinent solution here because of lack of time So the first one, the solution is for dredging, boat operators should use natural entrances. They are not allowed to do dredging. Okay, they need to use the provided jetties. So the dredging of the channel should be conducted during, if they want to do, they can do it, but during low tide, and the reef material should be removed by hands, and the removed reef material should be planted to another location. And they have to use natural beach erosion control measures such as planting beach creepers rather than erecting the hard materials or hard construction. Create zone near beaches to plant new coral as a buffer zone to avoid beach erosion. Okay, these pictures are example of dredging that occur at Pulau Tioman, okay, Kampung Air Batang. You can see in this picture is showing the dredging line that created by this chalet operator. And then this picture also evidence showing that the operator bring the largest barge of construction material here. This all was the coral area, but now there's nothing there. All the coral was disappear. Similar at Pakya Sea View, you can see near the Kapas Island. In 2014, it was less severe beach erosion, but by putting all the hard structure here in 2017, all the beach was eroded. At this one, at the Pulau Perhentian at the Coral Bay, showing that even though there is a jetty provided, but still the chalet operators are bringing their boats near to the beach line by creating all these channels, okay, dredging channel, similar to Teluk Dalam. So at the end, this is the fate of our coral in Malaysia. Nothing left near the beaches. Only is a sports area, only few sport area for snorkeling and diving. As for solid waste operation, usually what the operators do is they like to dump their solid waste in the sea, in the forest, or they do open burning or open pit. Because I went behind many of the chalet, I can see they are dumping all sorts of waste behind their chalet in the jungle. So I've taken all the pictures and done the study and reported to local authorities. And solid waste, the impact of solid waste is that it can cause entanglement, suffocation, drowning of marine animals, ingestion problems, okay, promotes algae growths, and so many things. And what was the solution from all this study is that we want them, the operator, to solve the solid waste issue from the prevention, minimization, reuse, recycling, composting, upcycling, and proper waste separation. If all these things is presented in the operation, the waste will be reduced. And there are other activities such as do not provide buffet service, food should be cooked upon order, no mineral water bottles or straw, buy items from mainland that have less or no packaging, reuse whatever waste it creatively to create a chalet decoration, because one chalets have taken the beer bottles and it crush it and it makes a material from the beer bottle as a wall. So they can do many things to create the chalet. Upcycling of waste material, upcycling of waste, uh, um, for example, bottles, okay, mineral bottles that being shredded, the plastic can be used as a linen, can create another type of linen. There's a study I have conducted. Last time we have seen there are few people are doing it, so it can be done. Compost kitchen waste, dry leaf and grass clipping to produce a fertilizer, avoid open burning or dumping waste in the sea or open pit, bring up garbage from chalet before pick up time, because the boat will come to pick up. So by putting it 2-3 days earlier, it will make the garbage to flow in the sea. So better to put before, right before the boat is coming, maybe about 1 hour only is given. Sand, dry waste for recycling and wet waste for composting. Okay, these are showing the scenario of pictures showing the what is currently what is happening and continuously happening. This picture was taken in 2017, but currently I went back to the location. It's still like this and getting worse. So all these garbage and everything near the symphony, the Perhentian, this is a big material that cannot be bring out. All these things, right? Another one, this is in Tioman, also similar bulky waste that cannot be bring out from the island, become eye nuisance and become a waste on the beach, beautiful beach. Energy management, energy operations, mostly all the operators on the island, 4 islands, are using diesel generators because they don't have a grid, okay, electricity from the grid. So they what do is they have improper handling of and storing of diesel oil, and they use excessive of artificial lighting at night. All these are causing negative impacts on the marine biological asset. For example, it can cause air pollution, coral bleaching, slow coral growth, not noise pollution, causing wild animals hearing loss, disturbed communication, navigation, feeding pattern. Oil spill can cause marine animal absorb toxic chemicals, and so on. And from that, we found out the solution is operators should use energy saving equipment such as solar panel. Solar panel is the best for clean energy. But they are expensive. So what we propose is the small operator can use it by stages. They don't have to use it as the full blown at one time. Air conditioner should be avoided by designing chalet and provide ample ventilation. So they can avoid using of air conditioner. So they need to design the chalet in a such a way is more environmental friendly. It's like Rumah Melayu, is more ventilated and have a roof insulation to avoid the heat. Frequent maintenance of air conditioner, energy saving sticker, installation of T-card system is the good one. Generators should be maintained all the time to avoid energy usage and should be positioned in acoustic structure because to avoid the noise pollution. Operators should educate their staff not to use diesel oil in the sea. Need to handle properly the diesel oil and use clean energy like the solar energy, wind energy, water energy. So these are some pictures showing at Redang Island when the oil spill happened and one turtle was quoted and sadly the turtle was died. Okay, this is hybrid solar system in Kapas Island. What I'm saying, I'm trying to show is this is the best system where it combines solar panel and also diesel generator to supply electricity to the operators at Kapas Island. There are only 8 operators and they are using this clean energy. Maybe this kind of system can be installed at the other islands in Malaysia. So in terms of sewage management, usually these operators, they are using very old type of sewage septic tank, sock pit, which is not up to date, which is not good system. So they dispose the sewage water direct into the groundwater, and others are disposing the sewage water directly to the sea or river nearby. So these excessive sewage are causing algae bloom, increased E. coli population, causing contamination of groundwater. All the detergents are causing causing the groundwater become salty. When the groundwater becomes salty, it will be difficult for plants to grow. It will stun the fruits. It will make the plant become not higher. It will be stunned at certain height. So the solution is individual sewerage system need to be upgraded by stages. Don't use the sock pit type system. Can be cleaned using natural or biological planting system. For example, if they have river, they can plant certain plants that can reduce the sewage, that can biodegrade the sewage in the water. All kitchen and restaurants should equip with grease traps. Untreated sewage are not allowed to channel to the water bodies. Frequent maintenance of the septic tank. Use homemade detergent and soap. And all the sludge should be sun-dried in the container with the dry leaf to create the fertilizer. And grey water, for example, water that we take bath from toilet shouldn't be discharged direct to the septic tank. It should be separate so it can be directly channeled to the trees or any plants nearby. So only the dark water will be in the septic tank. So the overflow will take longer time. So these are the pictures showing this is at Redang Island, showing this resort is from the river discharging the sewage water. This sewage water will directly goes to the sea, and these are what happened in front of the resort corals. All are coated with algae. Okay, similar picture showing at the perhentian, showing that this river is very contaminated with sewage and all sorts of solid waste directly directly flows to the sea. Okay, for freshwater management, the operation is because there's no water on the island, they are using groundwater, so they do excessive extraction of groundwater. And when they do that, what happens is marine water or sedimentation comes into the groundwater. And the sewage also can intrusion of sewage water cause saline groundwater, which reduce island vegetation growth. So what recommendation is pump groundwater extensively only during monsoon season and put into the very big storage. Maybe a local authority will need to provide a very big tank for the operators for them to storage water during the monsoon season. During the dry season, when there's a lot of tourists come in, they maybe can pump the water, but with the interval based on certain limit or time. All the water taps and shower heads should be equipped with the percolators, okay? Should use dual flush WC, water closet means dual button, so it will not waste a lot of water. Collect dripping water from air conditioner that can be used for irrigation of the plants. The grey water that I explained just now from the toilet can be discharged to the plant beds. Change towels and linen after 3 days. Now all the hotels are doing it. Rainwater harvesting for irrigation and use as much as can the rainwater for all the operation. So all these study below are showing that all the island are having having problems with the fresh water, having contamination. All the water in these 4 islands are contaminated. Okay, the fresh water is contaminated with E. coli. So when you go to the island, please drink hot water from the island. Don't buy fresh or rain, all the cold water, because it can cause you diarrhea. And conclusion, I can say that chalets operations, we can find out that is in terms of external work, solid waste, energy, fresh water, and sewage, which all need sustainable operation practices, which I mentioned just now, the solution, a part of the solution. So sustainable operation practices should be behavioral solution, means these rather than technical solution. Okay, if we find in the literature, it said that we have green operation practices. One is technical, another one is behavioral. When the technical is, for example, GBI, LEEDs, green marks, all the hoteliers are using that certification. But when it's behavioral, it's more on the how the operators is using the natural way to solve the to make the operation sustainable. But in Malaysia, currently all the small operators do not have that green certification because they cannot go for the technical certification. So this study will give a platform for them to understand how to become a more sustainable operators using the behavioral solution. Okay, that's all. Okay, the publication have that I have created from the research. And thank you for listening to the very long research. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Zinat, and it is on time actually. Very perfect, alhamdulillah. So we open up the floor for the question, if there is any.
I have a question. Hello.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes, that
Musa.
Does your suggestion has been forward to the local authorities?
Yes, have
What is the response?
or response.
Ah,
Yeah, response was we will do it.
okay.
But until now, when I have revisited, there was not.
No
Maybe
action.
there is, but what I can see, the solid waste problem is still there. The sewage is there. Maybe they have done it, but not fully. Maybe I'm not sure because I still can see that problem there.
Hmm.
Doctor, I have a small question. For example, when they construct the chalets and whatever the construction in the island, is there any monitoring process by the government itself to check whether the process is properly maintained or the chalets are properly maintained or not? The regular testing?
Okay. Okay, most of the chalets constructed on the island is without the permit. They are doing it without the permission of local authority. Okay, when they do the proper one, they need to do submission, local authority submission. Only certain resort and big resort are doing that. When there is a submission of a local authority, then the local authority will come and do the monitoring. But the small chalets that I'm doing this now the study, most of them did not submit for that. So no monitoring. They will just build by themselves anywhere they want. But within their compound, they just build it without any monitoring.
Allowed by the government itself? Because, for
The
example, without
government
the
did not
proper
allow.
without the proper authoritative procedures, then if they simply construct, for example, if this area belong to them, so I'm going to construct the hotel or something like that, then how the government will allow and they give the electricity and basic
No,
necessities?
they don't receive any electricity. They use their own diesel generator. So the government did not allow. But once they already constructed, the local authority comes and do check up. The local authority cannot
Say no to it.
no, the local authority only can find them, but they cannot how to say destroy, not destroy, robot their chalet. They just fine. So the fine is only about 1,000, so they can pay.
Okay. Okay, that's very clear, Doctor. Thank you for your presentation. Alhamdulillah. It's very clear and on time and precise. Alhamdulillah. And I would like to request Dr. Faiz to take over the floor and the last presenter, and he will
Okay.
be on time, inshallah. Thank you.
Okay, inshallah. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you to the speakers. Very, I think very informative, and we have the NGOs here, and then we have academician providing all this data. And I do hope that more of this kind of webinar can be done later in the near future, inshallah. So without further ado, I would like to share my screen and can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
You can maximize it.
Okay. All right. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Faiz Hanapiah, and I'm from Department of Marine Science, IUM. And today I'll be presenting to you the talk entitled Role of Academician in Sustainable Research Framework for Marine Conservation. And to begin my talk today, I would like to show you the map of Kuantan coastal waters, in which one map can have different stories. As you can see from the state developer point of view, we can see a lot of rapid coastal development in the northern part of the Kuantan coastal waters. And recently, there's been development of Kuantan Waterfront Resort City, which is already in phase 1 in the middle area of Kuantan coastal waters. And as for scuba divers enthusiasts like us, like some of us, the KCW, Kuantan Coastal Waters, offers various types of beautiful marine organisms in the inshore ecosystem. Believe it or not, like what the Tatina said just now, we do have our reef here, we do have our reef ecosystem here, and our inshore reef can be found in the Pulau Ula in the north, Baluk Reef, as you can as you can see from the slides from Tatina just now, we have 60 sites for Baluk Reef alone. And also last year we discovered another, last year we discovered another site in the southern region, Raja Muda Reef, and another 10 dive sites. So these inshore reefs located very close to the coastal waters, from the coastal areas. And these reefs provide important ecosystem services such as natural breakwater and nursery ground for marine organisms. And apart from that, this inshore reef becomes source of living for local communities. Although it doesn't under any protection because it's not in the marine protected areas jurisdiction. And for reef scientists like us, the inshore reef offers various types of scientific discoveries. With coral reef ecosystem, there are so many scientific exploration can be done from hydrodynamic modeling, from marine natural product, or just understanding their diversity and distribution. And such study output were crucial in designing a better ecosystem management plan. And how do we connect the gap? How do we actually connect all this group of people, or how do we connect all these stories into one? So we can connect them, or we can put them under one SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, which is life below waters. And to understand it, we need to understand the concept of sustainable development. And sustainable development is a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And it has three major components: economic growth, environmental stewardship, and social inclusion. Meaning that any any future development should consider the economic growth and how this development may affect the environment, and also they need to include the social the local communities inside the development. So what are the role of academician? Our task is to conduct research, but how do we transform our research into something that is useful for the local community out there? How can we produce a result that can be felt, that can be benefit the Mak Cik Kiah and Pak Cik Seman? And so that's why we need to do the community engagement. And as an academician, apart from doing research and teaching and all the academic tasks, we need to engage with the local communities to understand their needs and creating awareness. Like Kak Tatina said, we need to do the stakeholder identification, analysis, communication, and then engagement to create more platform for knowledge transfer between both parties. We may give them some knowledge, but the truth is they give a lot of knowledge to us regarding with the how to deal with the coral reef ecosystem. And as an academician, we need to disseminate the information, or results or other outputs from our research. And yeah, we need to tell the public our story. Bukan short sendiri dapat grant and then do the grant and then tutup grant and that's it. No, we need to inform to them. We need to so that at least they know what we are doing, and at least they can learn something from us. And there are so many media platform is available, which are available, such as the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or maybe you can do TikTok, if you want. And regarding with the community engagement, our kuliah, the kuliah of science, we already initiate under the marine school flagship program. We already initiated the IM Marine School, which focusing on community engagement and also awareness program and also sustainability program. And for the past 1 year and a half or 2 years, we already did so many program in terms of awareness program and sustainability program, such as the involvement in the Minggu Sains Negara in Kuantan, visit to Petro Science Kuantan, World Cleanup Day, and also other awareness programs such as microplastic awareness program, Environmental Day, and Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Carnival. And in order for having said that this talk is about sustainable research framework, what can be done in line with the sustainable research framework? And there's been discussion between among us, between me and the director of INOSEM, Dr. Fuad Miskun, and other top management regarding with the establishment of the Chasing Karang project. So what is Chasing Karang? Chasing Karang is an idea to assemble a team from interdisciplinary fields to engage on research related to marine ecosystem, especially on coral reef. And we aim to give platform to researchers to conduct research in sustainable manner. In other words, we invite them to come to us to do research, but we need to coordinate to monitor them so that there is no over exploitation being made for our coral reef ecosystem. And apart from that, we also aim to educate ordinary people through awareness project and publicity through social media. And for your information, we already established the Chasing Karang Facebook page and has garnered quite attention. And in this page, we promote any research relating with the coral reef ecosystem from us or from other part of the world. Okay. And who are the Chasing Karangs? Who are we? It can be anyone who has expertise and willing to conduct research or environment or project in marine ecosystem, especially in our inshore area, especially in our Kuantan coastal waters, because this is our turf, our home, and yeah, it's our home which need to be protected. So the objective of this project is to initiate a 5-year plan in inshore area in terms of research, community engagement, and marine ecosystem conservation. Apart from that, we need to enhance understanding in various aspects of inshore ecosystem, especially within Kuantan coastal waters. At the moment, most of the study on coral reef ecosystem are focusing on the island, because the only place that they know that have reefs is the island. But for us, it's very close to us. The inshore is very close to us and play a lot of important ecosystem services to our coastal in our coastal area. Apart from that, we need to engage with local communities and increase awareness in sustainable marine production. And we divided the timeline into 3 phases. We have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And phase 1, we want to focusing on baseline studies in which we invited anyone to conduct research in our coral reef ecosystem. It can be benthic diversity, it can be fish diversity, it can be handling or reproductive biology. As you can see here, all the photos of the reef that I presented up until now is from the reef, is from our reef, inshore reef area, and is equivalent to the beauty. The beauty is equivalent to those that can be found in Kapas Island or Tioman Island or Redang Island. Okay. We do have our own Great Barrier Reef in our backyard. And phase 1 also, in the phase 1 also, we want to do the annual coral reef monitoring to measure coral reef resilience in response with climate change and rapid coastal development. We want to chase the karang to the point that we want to know how resilient are they, how resilient they are towards the changes in the climate change or coastal development. And moving on to the phase 2, we want to based on the baseline study that we did in the during the phase 1, we want to initiate the community engagement project such as coral farming, coral adoption, and awareness campaign on coral ecosystem and the school initiative. It can be anything under the community engagement team. So and we do hope that by having the data, by gathering the data from the baseline studies and getting feedback from the community engagement, we do hope that we can combine and we can assemble it, and we try to conduct local or international seminar on the coral reef ecosystem. We can have annual corresponding workshop in Musa IUM. We can have coral propagation and reef rehabilitation seminar and seminar on ecosystem management in coastal region. So, having said that, this is just a proposal, but the idea is there for sustainable research framework, and this is I think this is within our capability and our strength. However, we cannot do it alone. The academician cannot do it, cannot execute this plan alone, because we need support from you. We need support from the state government, from the NGOs or private sector to support our cause, because as an academician, we are also bound to our obligation as a teacher to do lecture, to supervise undergraduates and postgraduates, to conduct research, and etc. etc. So we do need your collaboration. We do need your engagement on this, because I believe that some of us share the same vision towards the coral conservation. And akhir kata, indeed, the reef is one big natural laboratory for those who know what to seek. It doesn't matter no matter how fast the karang, no matter how fast we have to chase the karang, no matter how long it takes for our sustainable research framework to become a successful one. Inshallah, I do hope that we are always ikhlas untuk reef. Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Faiz, for your presentation. I open up the floor for the question. If there is any question, anyone can ask, please. It seems there is no question. Thank you very much for all the presenters for giving a wonderful presentation today, and also all the participants who are spending the time in listening to all our expertise. Thank you very much, everyone. Inshallah, we are inviting you to. Sorry, there is one question, it seems, from Dr. Fuad. So sorry for that, because they cannot unmute.
No, sorry. Assalamualaikum.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, it's not a question. It's just want to share. I would like to. I feel so impressed and feel so moved actually by all of the presenters of the 4 people today, by Dr. Hidayah, Madam Tatina, Dr. Zinat, and Dr. Faiz. I think we are all on the same frequency right now. I mean, we are all want to save the environment of coral, specifically on coral. So I really hope that we can coordinate like a collaboration together, or any possible things that we can do to make sure that our frequency and our effort can be success. And I really thank you so much to all your presenter today to join us, and I feel so impressed actually today. I feel so happy to see that lots of people are really in this thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fuad. And very good thing is today the webinar is more informative, because we have a conservationist, we have people from the island itself, that's why there was a web signal interruptions and etc. The real scenario. And also we have people from architecture group presenting on the coral reef conservation, very good really. And Dr. Faiz, who is comprehensively addressing all the presentation together on the impact of the role of the academicians in the coral conservation. I think the webinar is really helpful to all the participants, and hope everyone has enjoyed and as well as benefited from the knowledge of the expertise. And with this, I would like to thank everyone, and I would like to also invite everyone to join our upcoming webinars. Every month we will have a webinar, and the theme will differ from month to month. Inshallah, we are always inviting you. Your support is always helpful to us as well, inshallah. Without further thing, and I would like to end up the session with the tasbih kafara. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye Kak Tati, datang Nosem.
Datanglah sini.
Boleh.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akbar.
Thank you. Most welcome, Dr. Faiz.
Alright. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.